This is the second in our series of talks on interacting more comfortably with the floor, so that we're feeling more and more comfortable with interacting with the floor. I'm just going to refer back to some previous videos that we covered, which were floor-like in their nature, in terms that we were on the floor and we were trying to utilise the floor, gaining its support and also its capacity to act as a lever for our movement. So those two aspects are really important. They're just recurring themes, that the floor is there for our support and as a mechanism for propulsion of our body into movement. So the first video that we ever did was one involving two bolsters. I've got 4 here. And one of the exercises that we did, utilising gravity to assist our relationship with the floor, we did this little rolling exercise, which I'll just quickly recap because it feeds into what we're about to do today. And this is a really good starting point for anyone who's not used to being on the floor, is if you can set up a couple of bolsters or maybe some rolled up blankets, it suddenly becomes a lot easier and more comfortable to roll from side to side and go into what we referred to in the first video as complete cycles of movement. So we're going from one side, cycling all the way to the other side like this. So this is a little bit of a step on from rolling with the bolsters. So we're going to take them away now. Now we're back to a rather more raw floor exercise. So what we're going to do is just do pretty much what we were doing before, just rolling without bolsters. Now it doesn't really matter how you do that. In fact, just go with whatever's comfortable for you. For me, it's probably nice to roll with my elbows, not just my hands and not just my body, but using my elbows a little bit to roll like this, and even using my knees. So it's really quite easy. And what we're going to move into here, carrying on from our first floor set of exercises where we got up and down off the floor, is we're going to try and convert this rolling action into a movement that gets us easily up off the floor without too much stress on any one set of muscles or body parts. So from here we can start to basically just pick ourselves up. And if we keep moving in that circular or spiral movement, before we know it, we haven't strained any one particular body part at all. In fact, it's a lot like a kneeling and standing exercise we did in the first set of floor relationship exercises, which was this one. It was similarly spiral-like in its movement, where we want to get down on one knee, so we just turn one foot out and we rotate towards that foot. And to come back up, it will be quite, we can use this type of coming back or forwards, which is fine, but we can also use that rotating, spiraling action to do it. So if I want to come up, I just go from here to here. It's very unforceful, like I'm not feeling any great loading in any one part at all, just by simply spiraling up and down like that. So it's a little bit like that. So we turn one way, we're kind of moving circularly or in a spiraling fashion, which is a lot easier than me trying to do it like this, where we get that loading point. Now from here, if I want to reduce that loading point, it's the same thing. I just spiral away. And it takes that loading off. And it transfers the loading across my leg. So the loading moves in stages from one side of my leg to the other. It's like going down a series of steps. And I'm down without any one of those steps taking the full load. So So let's look at how we can spiral up and down using this more of this rolling action that we did on the bolsters earlier. So if we just have a second look at how I got up off the floor, then we'll have a look at how to do that on the way down. So coming from an on the floor position, I can just gradually roll myself up. And to come down, if you think of yourself, your weight's coming forward like in a straight line, you're going to hit that resistance point the same as you will if you're doing a lunge. You hit a resistance point where you need to throw yourself into a rotation. It's the same here. So if I'm coming down like this, all I do is I decide, okay, I can go either way, it doesn't matter. So to here I'm hitting that resistance point, just start to roll. And I'm down on the floor. And to come back up, I just roll myself up. So we can come down in any different direction that we want. So I'll just repeat the straight down, coming down that we just did. So we just came straight down, so coming till we load, and then I start to roll. And before I know it, I'm down with no stress or loading. So, and coming up, it's the same thing. And if you do hit a snag, like I did just then, where I was starting to load, where I hit a nasty point somewhere here. So where do I go? Just keep rolling, and maybe you'll need some more rolls. Maybe you'll need some extra rolls. It's just like either taking the fast way to the mountain or the longer track, which is easier. So let's just try falling to the side, and if you roll, if you get the idea of spiraling, usually your legs and your arms will just know what to do. So if I'm falling to this side, just start to roll, just start to roll, just start to roll, and come back up again. And there I hit a little snag there too. So it was round about here, I started to snag. So just keep rolling. Even if it means coming down again and restarting the roll. Just keep rolling, because whenever your body breaks that nice smooth cycle, it will snag and it will start to load. So the idea is just get your rhythm, just get your cycle back, and it will return to that wave-like circular movement, which is totally natural to the body. Working two-dimensionally, straining muscles is a very inefficient way of moving, and you can strain, and really all your body is doing is reinforcing disconnection within the body and not connection. It's reinforcing not working in a connected wave-like fashion, which is the natural way to move. So we've looked at just dropping straight down and hitting a roll to get all the way down. We've looked at going to the side. So same thing, I'm dropping to the side. Start to roll, start to roll, start to roll, start to roll. Let's look at falling forwards and back. So falling forward, start to roll, start to roll, start to roll. Let's look at falling backwards, start to roll, start to roll, start to roll. Falling back is probably one of the hardest ones, and I did jar a little bit into my wrist, but with practice these things get easier. So falling back, start to roll, start to roll, start to roll. Those slight jarrings that you saw there are a lot better than just smacking down and hitting your skull or breaking your wrist. Rolling will always reduce the risk of those really damaging impacts. If you study martial arts and falling, they have all kinds of really quite advanced ways of rolling, which are great, which we may cover as a more advanced class. But really, on a day-to-day basis, this is a really easy way to do it. And if you have children or grandchildren, use them as a little bit of inspiration for you to get down on the floor and play with them, or with pets and animals, or use any everyday opportunity for needing to bend. You know, I mean, bending is fine, we'll do some other videos on bending, but use it as an opportunity to get down in a nice easy way, and to get up in the same way. Use it as an opportunity so that you're pushing the limits of your range of movement and doing it in a fun way. And again, the purpose of these talks is for us to regain that sense of the fun factor the floor can offer, in terms of we can do a lot of interesting and playful movements interacting with the floor, and we can also gain that sense of safety for our bodies, to feel that the floor is that very supportive safety net that our bodies can just relax into more, which is great for our posture. It's great for the levels of tension in our body, to feel that we're not always having to guard against potential threat from falling over.